Hello, how are you doing? So, when I faced a life situation, a crisis of civil case in nature, as usual, like most of you, I started asking people, tell me a good advocate. Surprisingly, most those friends or relatives or whatever, hardly any of them use or quote to quote. That's the reality. Unlike you need a good doctor. There are a lot of people going and meeting doctor because of sickness, disease, etc. So it's easy to have someone and get some reference. That's not the case. Nobody goes to court. Okay. So finally, you could find one or two person using an advocate or going to court. But unfortunately, they themselves are not happy with their current advocate. So how can they refer to me? So it was really no way for me to find someone good. There are other ways to go and ask. We will discuss that. But finally, I chose someone, and that decision was wrong. I paid the price, and I reached a point where I have to change him, and that was a struggle again. And I have to find a way. So I find a way myself. I call that method technique two. We'll see that. And it was finally really worth. I found an advocate, um, truly a gem, and my life is now settled and comfortable, and the case is running smooth. Now, I took effort in this video to share this with you because I don't want this struggle of finding an advocate a big deal for people. So I welcome all of you to listen to this and use it because you don't have to reinvent what I done. Okay. With that being said, let's get started. So the intention of this video is um, you say you are into a situation, you need to go to court, file a case or something, and you need an advocate, right? How to find the best in your town. Now, many people think that um, they will never need an advocate because they are a gentleman. They are law-abiding people, etc. But this can happen. This can happen, meaning a legal situation can happen to you at any time, like an unexpected emergency. Okay, like you could see in newspapers that there are many incidences that shock us, shaken us. These these incidents can happen to you also. Okay. So my advice to you is don't wait for the last minute to find an advocate, which will be a disaster, and you will end up like me. Okay, shortlist someone and keep it use him for minor requirements like you need an agreement or things like that. Start using him wherever you can. Okay, to review your legal documents. So small works like that. So you get to know him. So when you have such a contact, you can make use of the advocate when the need comes. Because handling a legal situation is very stressful in the first time. Okay, you will think that you will never go to a court, you will never go to a police station, things like that. But the matter of the fact is, you don't have to really start the problem. Someone else will start it, and you will become a victim. Okay. I'll give you a simple example. Say you and your wife is watching a movie. It's a first show or something, and there is a miscreant started disturbing your wife. Now, in most cases, you have to protect your wife, right? So there will be a what you call quarrel, and later it can escalate to a fight. And there you are, standing in front of the police station. Okay, this is just one example. Take another example. You are into a motor accident, and that caused near death or critical injury to the victim. Again, you are in front of the police station, police officer. Okay, so like I said, don't think this will never happen to you. It can happen to you without your help. So you definitely need to shortlist a advocate you can count on when you really need it. So make it part of your life's emergency planning. So the first method most people use is reference. Technique one is reference. It's very easy. Just go ask, but it comes with a risk. Um, Most people uses acquaintance. Like I used an acquaintance. I used to go to a public playground where there are a lot of people come for exercise, walking, and things like that. So I found a lawyer there. So he's a lawyer, so he knows that it's a place for networking also. So he was very gentle. I interacted with him and asked him what kind of work you do and all that thing. So it was okay kind of thing because you act also very well because um, I can be a future client. So I had his name in my mind. But when the real situation happened to me, I asked my friends, relatives, and all that thing. Like I told, nobody wanted to suggest a name, so I was stuck. But then I went to the court area, interacted with some of the juniors there. So later I found a name, a senior advocate name was frequently mentioned. So I and my partner met him, but that senior lawyer rejected or refused to accept take the work. So again, I'm stuck. Then, out of frustration, I decided, okay, why don't I use that advocate? Call him Advocate A. Why don't I use him? Uh, so that kind of decision was not the right decision. It's a bad decision because you have no idea what is his credibility in the court. Yeah, he behaved nicely. You talk to him, that makes you comfortable. You have an expectation that he will not charge you overpriced. These two things cannot be the yeah, what you call measuring yard to decide a advocate. The main thing is whether he knows the work, whether he has the experience, things like that. So this is a bad decision choosing someone just because of acquaintance. And there is another one. People will simply tell you rumors. Okay, they simply tell you don't go to this advocate. He's a bad guy. He has no experience. He started like going. His mentor or guru is such a. He's not good. All this crap, uh, stupid things. Simply rumors. Okay, and people represent it in such a way that it's a fact. Now the most important thing is when you take a reference from someone, first of all you have to trust that person. Secondly, he must use that advocate for at least 6 to 1 year to take a feedback. Okay, and there are people in the court area who take commission for the advocates while referring for reference. Okay, all these things are there. Mhm. Um, Now, say you are very lucky, okay? So you're very lucky, you got a reference from a trusted person, he is using that advocate for an year or so, everything is great. Then I suggest you take the reference, okay? Take the reference, start using that advocate, okay? But you have to really monitor the progress. You have to really like him in every aspect, okay? Just the way your friend referred. That is there, then you're lucky, you're done, okay? You don't need to continue this video, but in most cases this is not the case. That's why I am, people like me have to find my own way to find a advocate. um, so if you are like me who got a bad reference, don't take rest. Seriously dig deeper to know your advocate from the aspects like his work, what his clients are telling, how many cases he is having in the court, things like that, okay? And there is a way to do it. But there are people who simply procrastinate. They are upset, they are not happy with their advocate, but they simply postpone the decision to change the advocate. When you do that, what happens is the you pay the price, okay? First of all, this advocate is giving you all wrong information. Your The strength and weakness of your case is misjudged, underestimated, so you will pay the price. Some of the damages the advocate made is not reversible. You will end up with financial damage, loss of property, or imprisonment in the case of criminal cases. It's a very disappointing thing, so don't take a chance, especially if your advocate is not doing good, you are not happy with it. Wait for a reasonable time, then push yourself to find another one. But this time, pick the right one. That's the main thing. Because every time you start with an advocate, you pay the a lump sum advocate initial payment. There is court filing expenses, things like that. For a tier 3 city, that can make you pay easily up to 20,000. And for a tier 1, it can run into lakhs, okay? So the technique too that I myself used is simply use the data available in the code, okay? And then meet the clients, because the client address is available in court. You can go and meet the clients, and also find a junior advocate in the court area. So these are the sources I use to find my advocate, and I'm really now settled and happy. Now, when will you use such a method? Is a you selected an advocate in rush that doesn't come from a good source, and now you have some time to um, dig deeper to find him whether he's safe or not. The next thing is the current advocate you are into is already a mess, and you need to change it. Now, this this method or technique asks for some time and involvement. Okay. Now you have a lot of time actually. To be honest with you, say your case is called on January, the next case date is after 3 months. So you have enough time to do your thing to find the next advocate. Okay. Now the first step is, seriously, most of the people who are going to the court has no idea, even after years, no idea how the court functions. Okay. So I encourage you to do a reality check. Go to the court. Please go to the court. Visit the courtroom couple of times. See the courtroom, advocates, the judge, opening ceremony, the advocate sitting area, how advocates are interacting with the judge, how the cases are called, witness trial, arguments, etc. Get have a reality check there, because if you don't do it, all you have is conceptions. Okay, that is not good. A real visit to court couple of times help you understand how things works, help you understand how it will affect your case, how the witnesses are trial are cross while how the witness got um, crossed by the advocate. It is totally different from what you see in a movie. Okay, so this is a must for you. While you visit a courtroom, there is another important thing you could do is you interact with the clients there, waiting for the court to be called. Okay, you interact with them. What was their case like? Who is their advocate? What is their experience? How is it going? Um, what are the good and bad things happening? Just know their experience. There's another thing you must do seriously, even though it's optional. I seriously suggest you interact with the junior advocates also, and you will easily find one person of great value and humanity, and he is going to be your right hand or whatever you call it, because you need to be in touch with him, because he's going to help you with some decisions which nobody else could. Okay, because what he has is court area experience and lot of internal information. Okay, and uh, as you use him, the junior advocate, pay him tip so that you feel good, and he also encourage encourage in the sense that you respect his effort. Okay, the tip can be very reasonable amount in a tier 2 city. When you use him, feel free to pay him 200 rupees. Okay, um, I found female lady advocates are more helpful, because you are not really giving the case to them. Okay, and they are aware of that. They are helping you because you sensitize them your what went through your life, the suffering and struggle. So help prompt them to help you out of humanity, and they're doing it free of cost actually. But when you use next time like that, it's important to tip them. Okay, do a payment of what you call gratitude, gratitude payment, things like that. So keep in touch. The next thing I did was there is something called cost list. This is a document published by every court in India. Okay, what it means is a very what it means is this is hearing list for a given day. A particular judge in a courtroom will call all these cases one by one. So that's what I meant by hearing list. This is called in court another name called cost list. So I'll show you. I already done a video on this. You must watch this video too before you continue this discussion. Okay. Let me show you that video. So this is the one second. What happened? Uh, Hold on. This is the okay, code. Hold on. Yeah. So this is the video. All you do is go to my channel, go to the playlist. Then there is a subfolder called Court or Judiciary. There you will find this video called Court Course List, Case Status, Court Orders, etc. Okay, this is the name. Currently it's in private mode. I will change it soon. Okay. So you see here, this is the what you call its course list. So this is the case number, these are the parties, and this is the advocate name. The this list is available. You see, in a day, an advocate closely 100 plus cases. Okay, so this list is available for more than a month. Okay, so you can easily find 500 cases. What that means is you will see here which advocate is having most cases in a courtroom. So with that information, you know now that who are the top lawyers representing cases in this court. Okay, hold on, let me go back. So this helps you make a list. Let me call it list one. Okay, which simply a list of all advocates top list where what we considered volume of work. Okay, now volume of work simply doesn't mean that he is a great advocate. There are advocates who got volume of work for some other reason also. Okay, but we will clear those people in the later part of the effort, and we will narrow down to really the people or the advocate we really want. Anyway, list one is required from the, and this is the course list help you do that. List one. Now the next step is you don't tell this. You will meet. I mean, you will meet junior advocate, but you won't tell him that you made a list or anything. Which simply tell him that after 6 months of using the current advocate, you are upset and he is making you. Hold on a second. Um, Let me see. Hold on. Okay, okay. So you after 6 months or so after using your current advocate, if you are really upset and he's causing you trouble in terms of simply wasting money and there is no progress or whatever it is, you tell and meet the advocate, tell him and sensitize him, saying that sir, I want to change the advocate because this is the reason. The reasons must be very bold enough so that the junior advocate understands your struggle, and then he will recommend you a bunch of advocates. You can okay. Let me call it list two. Okay, this is list two. Other recommendations from junior advocate. But when you get the list from him, make sure you ask him right questions. You don't simply accept the list. Okay. So what are the right questions? That is listed under section E. Okay, let me show you that list section E. This is oh, the number changed to ET actually, not section. This is D now. Hold on. Okay, line item D. Okay, these are the questions you must ask anyone, anybody, whenever you do a client testimony or when somebody suggests you an advocate. Make sure you ask these questions. You can improve this question. At least ask these questions. Okay. Now let's go back. Where are we? Yeah, we are here. So you got list one, you got list two. Now here is okay. Look, I told you that a junior advocate can be a great help. Now you have this list one from course list, but you have no idea the insider details. There could be advocates who are money greed. Okay, that could be advocates who are has critical health issues. There are advocates who don't take ownership for your case. They simply delegate the case to juniors, and that can pay you a price. Okay, and there are advocates overaged. So these details, um, a junior advocate will be of great help, and he will help you eliminate such people from your list one. Okay. All right. Now go to now. The next thing is now that you have list one, list two, and list two. The next important and critical step is to meet the say from this list 1 and 2 you found some cross match, right? From that cross match, what you do is you need to find and the client say the cross match gave you three people, advocate A, B, C. Now take from for this A, B, C, find the clients served by A, B, and C. Now, how do you find the clients? Well, what you need to do is go back to the quote list. Oh, sorry, go back to this course list which we just discussed about. You go back here. Now you click on each case. When you do that, you will be lucky sometime to see some of them has. Let me see. Some of them has. Some of them has. You see here. Hold on. Let me see. You can click on any of these cases. Some of them has court orders, and in the court order, and it's slow actually. So when you click on it, some of these cases will have court orders. Now, for example, this person Shukla is a top advocate based on the volume of data, like list one. Now you go one of these cases and see whether there is a court order or not. Then in the court order you could see client address, and that's what you need, right? You want the client address to go and meet. So like I mentioned here, go to the course list, court orders, collect the client address, go and meet the client and take the feedback. Okay, and repeat this process until you find your advocate A to A, B, C, whatever is greatly supported by the testimony client data. And you will find I found I could find one, and anybody can find one. Okay, once you find that, you are done. You find the advocate, but uh, you still have to go and meet that new advocate, right? But 99 percentage you will see that whatever findings that you got from testimony feedback, the volume of data, and the junior advocate input, whatever all those things, it will really unfold in front of you, and you will finally find yourself very happy that you find the new advocate based on the values and other stuff that you really care for. Okay, why I change my first advocate? Okay, what are the major reasons why the reason for changing that advocate? Obviously, he's not doing his job. But here it's some of I just want to tell you it's not an easy decision. To be honest with you, changing an advocate is not an easy decision because you are doing it first time. You have no clue how to do it. That itself is a pain. Then you are in a dilemma whether to change or not, because you may think that yeah, things will improve. Let's give some more time. To be honest with you, excuse me, some background sound. To be to be honest with you, uh, you have to really push yourself once you have enough evidence that this is going crazy. Okay, and if you don't do it, it is very unfortunate. You will end up in serious trouble. Okay, so most of the advocates in the initial period they take ownership and they do well, but their real color shows up after some time. Especially after they took some lump sum from you. Slowly they put your case aside and they don't pay attention, things like that. It's very difficult to find them, and they don't keep at the time manners, things like that. And you end up in losing a lot of time, a lot of your money getting wasted. The way he told you about your case, the strength and weakness, everything is underestimated. You come to know all these facts when you go to a quality advocate next time. Until then, you may think that everything is great. The case is in good hand. Case is good. It's hopeful. There is a strong ground. Things like that. No. Um, but the way I come to know my advocate is not the right thing is that over time I realized that his subject matter experience is not good. He was struggling whenever I whenever I asked him certain questions. He was struggling. Some of the effort he took had weakness, flaws, and also I took some people with me sometimes, so that they also happen to see his quality of work, and I got feedback from them also that he's not the right one. So, what I really encourage you to don't go alone to court advocate. Okay, sometimes you need to take others also, and they can also help you concur with what you are thinking. And all right, now exiting an advocate is not easy. Trust me, it is not easy. So I did a video on that because I went through a difficult phase of releasing an advocate. Because the thing is, especially with advocates who are average in quality, a civil case is something it can run for year 5 6 years, and it's a good income for them. And being a average advocate, they don't have enough cases also. So they will try to keep you as much they can. So whatever it is, I explained this thing how to exit an advocate in detail in another video, and I show you that video. I encourage you to watch it before you continue. Um, this is the one. Okay, how to cancel advocate Wakatlat number, and it's in the same place. It's in the same location. And you follow this video, and there are up to 4 options mentioned there, and that's enough for you to handle any advocate to have a what you call a NOC, no objection certificate. Okay, and you will have a huge relief because it's a mess. Okay, now let's come to the testimony part, the feedback questionnaire. So, like I mentioned, if someone suggests you a new advocate or you go and meet a client to take feedback about a particular advocate, definitely do your homework before going there, because don't simply swallow someone's what you call opinion. So I ask people, these are the questions I asked. I ask people, the first thing I want to know is, do you really recommend him? Okay. And based on that, I'll ask him, how did you find him? It's very weird. Most people give answers in the courtroom area whenever I visited courtroom. I simply ask them, how did you find him? They say, oh, he's my neighborhood. I used to see him on walking, early morning walking and things like that. That's all. And that's how they decide on an advocate. So, but whenever I went to some of the clients in from the client, what you call, like I mentioned, if advocate ABC, once you shortlist such people, I went to their clients. Such people told me, those clients told me a different way of finding their client, advocate. One person told me that my relative is an advocate, he suggested me, so that's good. Another person told me a very senior advocate in my town. So I recommended because he is getting old. So he recommended. See, these things make sense to me. Okay. Then you want to know that the second advocate that you're seeking is not overaged. Also, I would ask the client or whoever recommending that what are the likes and dislikes in that advocate. Experience, subject matter experience. Is he someone focused, or is he do all kinds of stuff? Uh, and who is his mentor or guru in the initial training period? The qualities, soft qualities, personality qualities. Does he really take ownership? Uh, does he Is he someone with integrity, dependability, and flexibility and communication? Does he behave nice? Because running a civil case is a long-term drama, okay? And you need someone you can really use like a partner. So these qualities are very, very important, okay? The next thing is time discipline. Like, you go to the office, you should be there, especially when you say, yeah, I'm there in the office, okay? And it's very difficult to find people with all these qualities. So, but fortunately, in any given city, you could find them, at least a couple of them. So that's why I keep telling you that the technique too is very, very important, okay? Especially when you don't have a good reference. Then fees. You will find a bunch of them in good, professionally sound and good, but their fees, if it's exorbitant, very high, then you can afford it. So there are advocates with professional advocates who understand your situation, your financial condition, and won't force you to lump huge amount. They simply tell you that pay us as you could, and we will see later, and things like that. So that's why I keep telling you that you do this technique to find the effort, put the effort. It's really worth. I found a lawyer who is not greedy in fees, also, which is very nice. And here is another important thing people and is not aware of. There are a lot of lawyers simply tell you one day that, okay, I'm not going to represent you anymore. Okay, it's really a shocker, because these lawyers are influenced by other people, because your opponent used a political force or a religious force or a money or whatever, and influenced your advocate to withdraw from your case. So it's important to ask the client or an advocate or who are referring you, the next advocate, that is he someone can be influenced. So I asked this question about my second advocate. I got a very strong feedback that no, he will never succumb to such thing. So which is a great relief, right? So there are so many moving variables here to finally decide on your uh, advocate. It's not simple thing, okay? And when you don't do this, that's when you really end up with a miserable life. Your case is gone, lost. Your money is gone, lost. Your property is gone, lost. And if it's a criminal case, you are in prison also. Okay. So with that, I'm done. I hope my experience is really going to make some difference to others who are suffering or suffered or going to suffer like this. I don't want anybody to go through this. Okay. So this is done now. Please read the disclaimer. And on a final word, I really I hope that my guidance was some help to you. I really thank you for listening. And good day and all the best. And really go and find your advocate of someone who can really care your case, someone who really human with a lot of humanity, someone you can really fall back on. Okay, take care. Good day.